What's up YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I'm going to make a quick video to answer a question that was left on my previous video by Akash Kumar. Hopefully I'm not butchering that name. At this stage in the game, my channel is very small, so I feel like the least I can do is make a response video to any legitimate question. He asked what my opinion on neural toxicity caused by Tren as laid out in Derek from More Plates, More Dates video titled Does Tren Cause Alzheimer's Disease, I believe. So I'd watched that video once in the past. I had to rewatch it to make sure that I had all the, that I had the right frame of mind. And so I'm not going to go over the entire video. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. Basically, every single thing produced by Derek from More Plates, More Dates is a total gem. He's a blessing to this community. I love all of his content. He's probably the biggest reason that I'm even making any of these videos, just because I really appreciate the content that he produces, and I feel like, what's the saying, like basically copying something is the best form of flattery. So in his video he talks about an abstract to a study titled 17-beta Trenbolone, an anabolic androgenic steroid as well as an environmental hormone, contributes to neurodegeneration. I tried to find the complete study because when I was watching the beginning of his video, I was really ready to dismiss it out of hand because the study itself doesn't, the abstract doesn't give us enough data. It doesn't tell us how much Tren was used. It doesn't tell us for how long. There's just, basically it just says in the study that Tren was used and that adult rats, there was a buildup of beta amyloid plaque in the adult rat brains. And so beta amyloid plaque buildup is a proposed causal factor in the development of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. And so at face value, it's like, okay, well, they found plaque buildup. Does that automatically equate to Trenbolone being neurotoxic? And because again, we don't have any information in the study, from the study to tell us exactly how it was done. So true to form with Derek, he really brings it all together in the end. And so if you don't watch the entire video, you don't get to his entire point. At the end of the video, he draws together his conclusion, for lack of a better term, suggesting that it is likely the fact that Tren tends to negatively affect your deep sleep, and that could be the reason why the Tren-treated rats had a buildup of the beta amyloid plaques. And so, as I'm wont to do, I totally agree with his opinion there. There are other studies on Alzheimer's disease, I believe on amphetamines, dopamine agonists. I think there's a number of chemicals that they've done studies on where they felt like there was a potential causal factor in the use of that drug and the development of Alzheimer's disease, and those drugs also tend to negatively affect sleep quality. So it seems that what we're really getting at here is that the thing that most negatively or most predicts Alzheimer's disease, or a greater chance of developing it, is poor sleep quality. So obviously there's a number of things that could lead to that. It's possible that you could find the same thing from exogenous testosterone abuse if you use super physiological doses to the point that it negatively affects your sleep. Basically anything that negatively affects sleep could lead to the buildup of these beta amyloid plaques. And again, this is a proposed thing. The last time I checked, there's no data that conclusively shows that that is the cause of Alzheimer's disease. So again, at face value, something like this can be very misleading. You see a headline and it's like, oh my God, Tren's neurotoxic. Well, that's clearly not what's really being said here. There's just some mental gymnastics that you can do. There are some leaps that you can draw from the data to say, well, maybe it's neurodegenerative because we found the beta amyloid plaque buildup, and we know that that has negative connotations on the development of neurodegenerative diseases. So I think it's very unfair to just jump to the conclusion that Tren is neurotoxic, and in fact I do not feel that Derek makes that conclusion in his video. Thus far, I have not seen any data that would lead me directly to believe that tren in and of itself is neurotoxic. That was the whole reason that I made my previous video, and again, I'm an amateur here, admittedly. I'm struggling to find the data that backs up the bro science claims that tren is this horrible, dangerous, terribly toxic drug to take. Again, the point that I made in the previous video is that the studies out there potentially suggest the opposite, and so I would love to see anyone else who's clearly more educated, more intelligent, has more experience with this compound than I do, present some evidence for why it is claimed that Trenbolone is, hepatotoxic or kidney toxic or neurotoxic. And before that data even potentially comes out, let me couch my statement a little bit in saying that one of the things that I think compounds this problem is in fact the bro science. So it's going to be difficult to find data on humans, potentially, where the only substance they've used is Trenbolone. So like if we're looking at data from the bodybuilding community, the bro science tells you don't use tren as your first cycle, don't use tren until you have a wealth of experience using androgens. So likely by the time a guy uses Trenbolone, he's already abused orals, tests, probably Deca, Boldenone, Primo, who knows, right? So likely by the time tren is used, this person has already abused their system with a number of compounds that can have a number of deleterious effects. Then you throw tren in, then you do blood work, and you go, oh my God, tren's terribly toxic. I don't know, maybe that's me looking for an excuse to justify the use of this chemical. And again, what do I know, right? I'm an idiot. I'm certainly not recommending, based on anything that I've said, that someone run out and try tren. Don't break any laws in your country. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm just a guy making YouTube videos. I really love the content of these other guys out there, and I want to get a better understanding for why this substance has such a negative view in the bodybuilding world. So again, thank you to Akash Kumar for watching the video and commenting. Anybody else has comments, suggestions, questions, ideas for future videos? I'm really enjoying making this content, so please leave those in the description below. Thumbs up helps this channel get noticed. Maybe it'll get this video in front of Derek or Vigorous or Greg, somebody who can make a response video and educate us all. Hope you got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.